Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Justin back again with another discussion video with Matt from.
LaundroMattyB presents.
Hell yeah, man! So it's been a little while since we've done one of these, and I'm gonna try to keep it under an hour this time, but there is a lot to talk about.
That is a
WandaVision.
lot.
WandaVision, am I right though?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
So basically, I want to do a full spoilers discussion and then talk about like the future of the MCU after this. Like, what does this mean? So,
Sounds rad.
first off, I mean, we knew there was going to be 9 episodes from the start. We knew it was going to be a mini series. So, going into it, from the trailers, this is what I just gathered. I thought it was going to be a show about Wanda grieving and living through these different stages in life until she has to deal with herself, kind of.
See, that's where me and you differ. I did not watch one single trailer for the show.
Oh, you
I just
didn't?
went in with no, I did not at all. I just went with what I had known from and saw from the MCU as it was, and I just like went right in, and I loved it. But
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
let's get
So
into
the
what we're
first
gonna talk about.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. First, I want to start out with the first 2 episodes of the show dropped at the same time, simultaneously.
Yeah, yep, and
So,
saw them both
I'll
same night.
yeah, I'll let you start first. What did you think of the first 2 episodes when they first came out?
It was definitely different. Definitely different, especially like how with the first episode, especially the first one, how it goes like right into the 60s, and I'm trying to remember
Well, the first
what
episode was
intro.
50s, and then the second episode
Oh, it
was
was 50s. Okay, yeah,
yeah.
50s and then 60s, and then that alone, I was like, whoa, that's very different. I didn't know what to think. It was really cool, but I didn't know what to think. As like, oh, I've never seen the MCU do this before, so I'm like,
Yeah,
interesting.
it was definitely a mix and pardon my French, clusterfuck of ideas thrown into one show. And after I'm not gonna like lie. After the first few episodes, like the first 2 episodes that came out, I didn't have an opinion. It was weird. Like it was like, okay, I know she's in like some sort of fake reality. And just because, like, I know Wanda's powers from not the comics, because I don't claim to know the comics, but I just read Wikipedia and
Right.
watch like X Men
Yeah.
Evolution and shit when I grew up.
Yeah.
So
Same.
I
Same
was
here.
like,
Same here.
and it's based off of some of her powers before. So after the first few, like 2 episodes, I was like, I don't know. It's like okay, it's a little slow moving for me, but like I know they're gonna build up to something really cool. So
Right.
like I was given the first 2 episodes a pass because like the part where the Kitty Foreman from that '70s show, Deborah Jo Rupp's character in the show. I forget what her character in the show's name is, but like when her husband's
I
choking, she's
forget
like,
too.
her husband's just choking. She's like, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" It was like, "Oh fuck!" Like I can tell like some sort of reality is like coming back in her mind. Like she sees her husband in danger, and then she's coming to. So it's like, okay, like there's like a tiny bit of reality, a little bit of dark stuff happening. Like I can bang with that.
Yeah, and then I think it was I want to say it was like the second episode. I believe I might be wrong on this, but the second episode where they notice like there's a red helicopter in the bushes, and it's like completely like out of touch with what everything else is there, and it's a bright red helicopter, and they're like, what is
Yeah.
this, why is
So
this here?
I'm not gonna lie, like right away, because I have mad ADHD and I noticed it, I was just like, wait a minute, go back. And I clicked in, there's like a sword logo on the drone. So I was like, okay, I was like, so there's definitely like sword, like the thing that was teased at the end of I believe it was Far From Home that teased Nick Fury on sword base, right?
I believe so, yeah.
So yeah, I definitely like picked up on that because I'm like I'm not one to look at theory videos online or anything, but like I try to observe shit. But like so after the first 2 episodes, I like that they still the first two episodes were very much so like old-fashioned 4:3 black and white. And I know Dick Van Dyke was the consultant. That's why, like, you saw like episode two's intro was like straight off of Bewitched, like the old '60s show.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, at this point, because like me and you both have watched a crap load of time travel movies and like
Oh yeah.
stuff like that. So, like, by the second episode, I was like, okay, like one like oh, whatchamacallit? I just had a brain fart. By the second episode, you could tell like something was starting to happen already.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and I was happy about that they were
yeah,
progressing that way.
yeah. By the time the second episode came along, I was like, all right, she is definitely remembering certain things. Like those shows are like probably shows she liked as a kid.
Right.
So, and then we guessed the next episode would be in the 70s, and it was the 80s. And then the one thing that I do think is weird, though, is the episode, which was the episode with Evan Peters in it? Was that 4 or 5 where he was introduced?
Jeez.
Let me
That
see.
might have been episode... I think it was episode 5, I want to say, where he shows up at the end.
Yeah, episode 5. So, episode 5, I believe, was taking place in the like the 80s, 90s, and stuff like that. But the one problem I had with that is the episode starts out and it takes up the whole screen. The only problem with that is, though, even in the late 80s and early 90s, and hell, even in the late 90s, early 2000s, shows weren't necessarily in widescreen. Like there was
that didn't happen.
That
didn't happen until 2005, 2006.
For most shows, yeah. But there was a select few shows in the very early 2000s, but even then, it's like way past WandaVision's time or whatever. So,
right.
So, I mean, that might have been a mistake, but at the same time, I've seen shows like Smallville, for instance, like that's from 2001, and it took up the whole stream. And still, again, that's years later. So, but no, that I was super happy about the Quicksilver thing, but then again, it was kind of spoiled for me because I saw on Twitter the dude who he's a Spanish voice actor. He does the dubs, like he's like I play you in Los X-Men or something. Like I'm terrible, don't even go off of that. But like I'm like this guy plays Evan Peters in all of the X-Men movies on the Spanish dub. He does the audio tracks for him. And so he posted a tweet out saying, like, so excited to return the role of Quicksilver, da-da-da-da. And then he deleted the tweet and then marked his Twitter as private.
Oh, that's... So oh, like, my God.
I already knew most of it, and that's the thing. Like, and everyone, like, everyone by, like, episode 2 or 3 was just like, okay, this Agatha chick is probably... Agnes chick is probably Agatha Harkness or whatever.
I didn't even like figure that at all. I was just going along with the story. Nothing came to me about that at all.
Yeah,
not yet at least.
That's the thing that like kind of not ruined it for me because I still enjoyed the show. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. But that's the thing that kind of killed it for me, just because a lot of the shock value wasn't there. Like I was shocked to see Evan Peters, even though I already knew about it. Like, I'm shocked at, like, holy crap, Evan Peters is Quicksilver again. Like, I'm so happy. Whatever way he's still Quicksilver, I'm still happy for now. Like,
yeah, me too. And it was interesting how they didn't bring in Aaron Taylor Johnson instead. They chose him.
He's too busy. Like, he's married to a cougar or whatever, and he's probably set money-wise. I think the lady he's with and has a kid with now is the lady who wrote like 50 Shades of Grey and all those books.
Oh, okay.
So he's set, man. And like I think he had a small role in Tenet when I watched it, but I could like barely recognize him.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, like you didn't have any flaws with the first, like I'd say 5 episodes.
I didn't have flaws with... Honestly, I didn't have flaws with any of them. But, no, like, the first 2 episodes, it was so different. I enjoyed it. It was cool.
So,
it was very intriguing to me.
I will agree with that because, like, as someone who I like, so I like to theorize. I like to talk to my friends about stuff, but at the same time, it sucks. We live in a world where the internet is present because right away, episode like 2 or 3, boom, oh, they're going to do the House of M storyline. Like it's going to be Mephisto or it's going to be Agatha Harkness. Like that's like people already like said it online everywhere. Didn't matter if it like was IGN or MovieWeb or like because I only really keep it to like two movie sites, IGN and MovieWeb, and then like if Facebook pops up with something, then so be it. But
Right.
everyone popped up like, is Agnes Agatha Harkness or is this person Mephisto? Da da da. I already like everyone already knew because it was confirmed that Jimmy Woo from the trailer and then Darcy from Thor was in it. Did you like their characters in the show? Did they fit well for you?
Oh yeah, they did. As people have said, I think they should get their own team up show together.
Yeah.
They're such good characters. They became favorite characters of mine throughout this series, and they deserve their own show, if not,
And like this
more in movies.
the little subtle references too. Like everyone posted about it on Facebook. I didn't notice it when I first watched it, but the thing where Jimmy Woo like whips out his like business card or whatever, or not business card.
Oh
He
yeah, that went over my head.
He whipped out the playing card, and like someone online was like, "No, it's a direct reference to Ant-Man because Ant-Man was trying to teach him the magic trick while he was under house arrest in Ant-Man and the Wasp."
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
I was like, "Who notices this shit? Like, I want to know."
Right. Right.
People who don't have jobs and just sit in their parents' basement. But I am very appreciative for you guys.
Yeah.
So,
Marvel Studios has done a great job. Like overall, I mean, yes, there are a few movies that were like, but like overall, it's just awesome. And you know what? After I will say this, and I don't know if you were even gonna say it during this chat, but I think honestly, I think with since this whole show is over, I think it makes Age of Ultron look like a better movie.
It could be. I mean, it's kind of like after Endgame, it had a lot of people wanting to watch Thor the Dark World again, which is obviously my least favorite MCU movie and a lot of people's least favorite. But
yeah,
it does get people intrigued. I'm not going to say a newfound appreciation, but it does get people intrigued to watch something again.
Right.
What did you think originally when episode 4? I'm kind of in the middle point right now, going back and forth. But like episode 4, when they showed Vision all dead.
Oh yeah, I think it was Wanda who saw like a quick glimpse of Vision there, like dead, like zombie or something. Like whoa, that even so. I mean, obviously we all know he was dead. He is dead, but like to see that. That was just super surprising to me.
Yeah,
100%. Even though we knew,
we knew Vision was dead. We knew Vision had to be dead. But then I was like, oh crap! And that's the thing I'm like very appreciative about because as someone who, for like a third of the MCU movies, doesn't like them strictly because they're too jokey or whimsical or comedic and stuff like that. I was happy to see, at least in this, the MCU getting dark. Like, crap, you're seeing Vision dead, and then, like, the hole in his head from the stone being ripped out. And he's, like, a different color. He was, like, washed out purplish and blue.
Yeah, which is why I'm also, I'm sure we're going to do a chat about this, too, Falcon Winter Soldier. Yeah. That's why I'm excited for that, too, because Captain America Winter Soldier was, like, super serious. And
everything. Hell yeah. We're going to talk about that when we do the future talk in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, all right, I'm going to bring up the episode guide because certain things are going to get mixed up. So, episode 6, after we got Pietro back and stuff like that, episode 6 is when they did, it's very clear within the first 10 seconds, it's Malcolm in the Middle inspired episode.
Yeah. Which I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's like late 90s, early 2000s. It's got to be early 2000s because the one scene showed on the movie marquee, I believe it said The Incredibles was playing.
Yeah.
So that was like 2004, I guess, something like
Which
that.
Malcolm in the Middle was still on during that time, so that made sense, obviously.
Yeah. So and that's the episode. Whatchamacallit. A lot of things go down in that episode. Like we're seeing Quicksilver do his speed thing finally, which honestly, like, that's the one thing I appreciate more in X-Men. X-Men, like, it's perceived a lot more cooler, and this one it's just like, and like this stuff happens. I'm just like they flash by too quick, and they don't focus on it. I get Wanda's the focus, but it's just like if it flashes by and it's not slow motion, not that it needs to be, but you would think they would do it in a more interesting way. Like, you remember X-Men First Class when they showed that scene with Azazel?
Yeah.
And, like, he's teleporting so fast that you see, like, all the dudes dropping out of the sky.
Yeah.
They probably could have done something unique like that. I don't know. But, what did you think? It's so hard to, talk about certain things because, like, what did you think of this? What did you think of that? And you said you didn't watch the trailer, right?
No, not at all. I completely avoided.
So
And like I know, like sometimes they might have like released clips or something too. Forget that. I'm not even like bothered. I don't do that with the MCU movies either.
that's fair. That's fair. So when you saw them, Wanda and Vision wearing Halloween costumes, did you think it meant anything, or did you think it was like just some stupid thing for fun they did?
I thought it was kind of both.
Yeah.
I don't know which way to side on that. It was kind of both. Yeah.
because I know those were Vision and Wanda's like costumes from the comics, like the retro costumes from the comics.
Right. Which I thought that was a really cool callback too.
Oh yeah, 100%, definitely. So okay, I will ask you the commercials. Did you have any idea, like by episode like 4, 5, and 6? Did you have any idea like significance of the commercials at all?
No, all the commercials. I think except for maybe the last commercial that they did, possibly. But like all of them just like went past me. I thought nothing of them.
Really?
I mean, I saw yeah. I saw
sure
like in the earlier commercials and stuff, like the Hydra and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I was putting this together like by episode 5 or so, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, every single commercial I see, it's the same woman and guy.
Yeah.
I was like, it's got to be Wanda's actual parents, like, because it's the same woman and man in every commercial.
Right.
But I think, was it episode 6 that had like a claymated commercial? You remember that?
I think so. Yeah, it was like it was almost like what, Dunkaroos or something like that.
Yeah, dude, like those old like classic commercials on like Fox Kids or WB like tunes or something. Like you would see shit like that.
Yep.
Who are those the Chips Ahoy commercial that squeezed in the middle, smack down, like when they were all just like claymated and stuff. That, oh my god,
that goes so back. Yeah, right now.
The style brought back so many good memories. So like, okay, so episode 6 now, like I'm invested in the show. I'm liking it. I'm waiting for the payoff. Like, because they're setting up things and they have all the pieces on the table, and like it's at this point it's going as planned for me at least. But I'm still enjoying like the trip. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I know like when I go on vacation I have stuff planned out, but while I'm doing it I'm still enjoying it. You know?
Right.
So episode 7. What did we learn in episode 7? The big thing. Who was it all along?
Remind me. Oh, it's Agatha all along. I love that, like how they did that with the monsters. That was cool. I like that.
And I did like that. So I didn't predict that. I didn't predict it like she, like obviously I thought either A, it wasn't Agatha, or B, it was. Like it's one or the other, because the scene that threw me off was the scene where Vision was in the car with her when Agatha was on the edge of town, and the Vision like zapped her, and
That's
she was like, "Where am I?"
That's
Like,
what me and that's what me and my fiance Raina were talking about. We and she had brought up like a really good point, saying like, oh well, I mean, Agatha,
like
when Vision
Vision
went,
zapped her and then snapped her into reality for a few seconds.
yeah, and that's why, like, I was starting to think like maybe Agatha wasn't the real one, like, doing all this, because like she has like two different sides to her. But no, man, they got us. They got us with that.
Did you heckin' bamboozle? So okay, it was Agatha all along, and then that episode I believe was reminiscent of the Middle and Modern Family.
Yeah. That
And
I
then
think, yeah, that's right. The middle and Mark, because like the whole camera stuff, yeah, they did that with a Modern
and she's
Family,
like,
and then the middle, yeah,
I'm going to be staying home. I'm going to be having my staycation and enjoying myself. Like she's doing this little interview thing. Yeah.
yeah.
But what I'm thinking though is when did shows like The Middle come on?
2008,
Okay, so that would make sense then.
was
So
that
that would
right?
probably.
Did
I'm not gonna
yeah?
2009, but that would make sense then
Oh,
because Wanda and Pietro would be like early teenagers, kind of. So they would still
right.
be thinking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we had the middle, and then like okay, so I'm not gonna lie. Episode 8 was it was okay to see, but at the same time for me, I don't know how many shows you've seen like this that like the episode before the final episode is like a greatest hits type thing.
I'm trying to remember, dude. I Remind me what episode 8 was.
Episode 8 was the one where Agatha did like a mind bending thing and showed Wanda her past.
Oh, that was a great episode. Yeah, yeah, it was more like dark than anything else. Where it was, yeah, that was really
I
good.
I will admit, like I did like the opening part, seeing Agatha and like with all the witches, and then like she sucked the life. I was like, that was cool. Like I love seeing shit like
Yeah,
that.
I'm glad that they also followed up with that in this one too, the finale.
Yeah, and then like it's cool to see like Vision's dead body laying in like parts on the table. But my problem is like I hate when shows do that. They'll ramp up momentum, and then the episode before the finale will be like, pause, backtrack, and then like it just like kind of kills the momentum for me a bit. I don't know. I know a lot of, and I didn't like the episode was okay, but it's just that like it boils
Uh,
my blood sometimes when shows do that. I'm like, come on now.
I don't know, man. I gotta tell you, I didn't feel that way like you did. I thought the episode was just flat out amazing. I really did. I'm honestly saying that. Like,
Okay.
it,
Well,
it
yeah,
was
we
it
don't have
was
to have the
so
same
good.
opinion.
Well,
Breaking
no.
news,
I'm
y'all.
just.
Breaking news, y'all. I have different opinions than someone else.
Well, you know,
What was your
you
favorite
know.
part of that episode, though? Like,
Uh, which one? Episode 8
yeah.
or not?
Episode 8. Episode 8.
Uh, Episode 8. I just loved how they told the whole backstory, because like they were finally explaining a whole bunch of things that we were wondering about, like Wanda and Quicksilver and stuff like that. And I, dude, that was a great backstory episode for sure.
Yeah. I think what it is with me is like most of the stuff, I would say 65 to 70% of the stuff they showed already
Yeah.
was already known. Like we knew their parents died. And now it's because now basically another thing that happened to Wanda is because of Tony Stark. So I feel like Tony Stark is responsible for half of the bad shit that happens in the MCU.
Yeah.
Like, am I right though? And like the thing with her
Yeah, yeah,
powers, and the
especially
thing with
like
her
this the
powers,
stuff with like Spider-Man and stuff like that.
yeah, and the thing with her powers, we already knew how she got her powers, but in this one they kind of retcon her origin story, and they said like this is how they're going to slowly introduce the X-Men because they're basically saying that Wanda had the power all along, that just the Cosmic Cube and this like the staff brought it out. Yeah, was the Cosmic Cube the Mind Stone? Or was the Mind Stone and Cosmic Cube the same thing?
Was it that was a Tesseract cube, right?
Revealed to contain the Space Stone. Oh, okay. Space Stone. Okay, whatever. I got thrown off by that a little bit because it's like you don't rewatch all these 23 movies like every week, so it's hard to remember.
Right,
Yeah, and
right.
so in this version, they had the powers all along, and the Cosmic Cube just brought it out, and Loki's staff.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering
Which I thought that was cool.
Yeah, like that was cool. And then we got a quick glimpse of Scarlet Witch Wanda in her costume. But then by the end of the episode, finally, Agatha mentions an X-Men thing. He's like, that's chaos magic, and that makes you the Scarlet Witch.
That's right.
Yeah, because she's not been called Scarlet Witch throughout the entirety of the MCU.
That's what I was like saying to all my friends at work who watches it too. I'm like, I don't think at all that they have ever said Scarlet Witch before.
No, they hadn't. And like, and here's the thing also, like a lot of people were saying like, oh, because Kevin Feige or like the director of the show said this means the last 3 episodes are going to be an hour long each. And I wish people wouldn't make clickbaity articles for the sake of clickbaity articles, because I don't click them obviously, but it's just like I hate when they take some information and kind of set fake expectations up.
Oh yeah,
because then you're just gonna be let down.
Yeah, like with people's like theories and stuff like that about the episodes, and now they're all like bitching, be like, "Well, I'm mad at WandaVision because that didn't happen, so the show sucks."
Yeah.
And that's why, like, some people even I thought it was real stupid how like at the very beginning of the show, people are like, oh, well, this show wasn't good. I'm going to stop watching. Well, you missed out on a lot of good stuff.
I think that's honestly why they released the first 2 episodes, because the second episode teases something bigger happening, and the first one didn't really.
Right.
I mean,
well, actually, wasn't it the first episode at the very, very end where someone was watching the show when they were in the 50s? Someone was watching, and you heard like some voice or something, or was that the second episode? It might have been the first or second.
Yeah, I believe it was the second episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
First one was just 50s and straight 50s, and nothing else was Yeah,
so now we're on to episode 9. So we find out a lot in episode 9, and that's the thing that
we do.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does leave a lot of questions. So is there any, like, if you were to pick one specific question besides like the end credit scenes and stuff like that, pertaining to just the episode as a whole, do you have any question that was left unanswered that was like really on your mind the whole show?
Is Evan Peters' character is
he like, obviously, what was his name, like James Boner or something, or Jason Boner or something? I forget they said, but that makes me think, like, when Agatha, I get what you're trying to get at, like when Agatha's necklace is taken off of him, and he snaps into reality, like He definitely seems like a stoner in real life. So like, I'm guessing on Wanda's universe, like Evan Peters' character is this guy, not Pietro Maximoff.
What? No, this obviously, nothing would ever happen from this, but like, what if in the Fox universe, what if this whole time he really hasn't been Quicksilver? Like, he really is this, like, Jason guy.
I mean, maybe, but here's the problem with Kevin. Here's the problem with Kevin Feige, though. If his hand wasn't on it, he doesn't care about it. Like Agents of Shield, he doesn't care about that show. Netflix shows, he doesn't care about those shows.
Well, I mean, he obviously cares about the Fox movies because he brought Evan Peters in.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
To be fair, though, that's probably because people in general, when X-Men Days of Future Past came out and Avengers Age of Ultron, people immediately favored Evan Peters' version.
True.
So I think he knew in the back of his head fans liked that and they wanted to see it. So he might be catering like to the fans.
Like that was pretty much like fan service kind of thing.
Yeah, because at the end of the episode, like he's not Pietro Maximoff. He's not Quicksilver.
Right.
So
right, and I saw some of the comments of people all mad about that.
I'm not too bitter because like even though I would love to see something X-Men related right now, and we did see one or two nods to X-Men with the Scarlet Witch name, I know X-Men's not going to be done for a few years.
Right.
But yeah, I definitely, that was my question too about Pietro. And did you get the X-Men reference in the episode at all?
Which one are you talking about?
So when Wanda's kid, I think he's called Speed in the comics. I can't remember.
Yeah, the two kids are named Wiccan and Speed.
Wiccan and Speed. Okay. So yeah, the kids in the comics, there's the one scene towards the end of the episode 9 where the kid runs through all of the guards and he takes the guard's hat and glasses. You know how he takes the guard's hat and glasses?
Yeah.
Here you go. Look at this. See? Who else took someone's hat and glasses?
Oh boy, there you go, right down there with Days of Future Past, a Quicksilver scene. That's pretty. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yep. So I noticed that right away. Like well, Evan Peters already had goggles on in that scene, of course, but like, he stole one of the guards' hats, and that's exactly what the kid did. He stole one of the guards' hats.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really cool reference. What did you think of this whole like White Vision thing?
When we first saw it, I think it was the last episode where they introduced the White Vision. I was like thinking Ultron right away.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and
it was the computer program, not like to do their bidding.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like with all this, I'm thinking that Age of Ultron might be a better movie now to people because of like WandaVision made. I don't know. I'm just gonna probably keep going back to that whenever anyone asks me about that. I don't know.
I think some people find appreciation for it. Me, it's like really on the bottom of my list for the MCU movies, but it still wasn't a bad movie.
No, it was never, and they've never had a bad movie.
My thing is, I hate it, and Paul, who's the guy who plays Vision? Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
He was trolling people so freaking hard because he said there's gonna be a final scene in WandaVision, and I'm going to be working with an actor I've never worked with before, and it was like instant fireworks on set, and I was super hyped to work with him. So the actor he was talking about was himself. I was like, oh my God, dude, come on, man. And that's the thing I'm talking about with like expectation ruining. I know you're trying to deflect and keep the fans guessing. And like, I get it. Like, it's fine, but you could just simply deny it.
Yeah, there were. I remember there were articles saying like, "Oh, there's gonna be like a cameo by someone or something," and
Yeah.
yeah,
And so, okay, so we have the final fight scene at the end with Agatha and Wanda. I'm not gonna lie, I thought originally it was gonna be short lived, but I got everything out of wanted in, like what I wanted in that fight scene. I saw Wanda like choking all those people, which was super freaking dark. Like her hands were turning
yeah,
all black and stuff. And then I thought the coolest thing, and I thought there was something up with this when I first saw it, when Wanda was using her magic, and like some shots were hitting the Hex and other shots were hitting Agatha. I was like, dude, she's hitting the edges for a specific reason. Like she's missing on purpose.
right.
And then sure enough, Agatha's freaking plan from episode 8 comes around full circle, where she has the runes on each corner of the hex. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Like that's pretty cool.
yeah.
So you like the final fight?
Oh, I did very much so. I thought that looks so cool. Like the budget for this show is like it shows.
It's definitely up there. Yeah, and that's the thing as well, because the show only has 9 episodes versus say CW's show that would have 22. You're cutting a little bit over half of the episode runtime, so you can use that budget on better VFX.
And fun fact for all who are watching this video, Falcon Winter Soldier is only 6 episodes for its first season.
Okay, cool. So, all right, so you enjoyed the final fight. Now, okay, so how do you feel about how Vision was left off? Basically the hex closed and Vision with it. How do you feel about that?
I'm glad that he's gone, because like it needed to be that way. I mean, he's dead. So he's dead.
I appreciate an Endgame, and like I get what you're saying, because I appreciate an Endgame how there's certain characters that they say have to be dead.
Yeah.
Vision and Natasha Romanoff have to stay dead. Black Widow.
Right.
But my thing was, and here's the thing I hate. Like I get it's something different, and like this was the whole reason for the birth of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But they literally created White Vision just for a reason for Paul Bettany to still be in the MCU. Because White Vision flies off at the end.
Right.
And like, I was like, dude, come on, man. Like I'm just not a Vision fan. Like I've never been a fan of that character, but like,
I don't think anyone really has until WandaVision came to be.
And this like the part where Vision clears his consciousness. Now, like he's still an android. He doesn't have any emotions, but he has the memories. But I was just like, come on, man. Like you're really going to cheap out and like just try to find some dumb way to work Paul Bettany back into like the MC. I was like, come on, man. This is like let it die. Let characters die, man. And it's like it's like some sort of remnant being. I don't know, but that's just me though.
I just don't think like many people became like a Vision fan until WandaVision. I don't know. He wasn't really like a lead. He wasn't really like a lead character like he was in that series. So
yeah, I just found him always kind of like bland. But like, again, that's just me.
I don't know. I feel like they did a much better job with him in the show. They developed him a whole lot more.
Yeah, I will give you that then at least. Like they did give him more to work with.
Yeah, he wasn't a side character. He was a more developed character in the show. So
that's at least fair. Okay, yeah, I can see that. So, okay, I'll let you talk about this finally. Then the 2 end credit scenes.
Okay, so I'm trying to. Okay, so you know when Jimmy Woo and Kat Dennings' character, God, I forget her name. Darcy. Okay, so Jimmy Woo and Darcy, you know, back with everyone, stuff like that, the military and whatnot, and then the daughter from the mom in Captain Marvel,
Monica Rambeau.
Monica, that's it, goes into this theater, theater, and I guess meets up with one of the military.
Scrolls.
Okay. Well, first, hold on. The one of the military people then transformed into one of the scrolls,
Yeah.
and then was like talking to her about I forget what, but pointed up. One was like that, and
Yeah.
obviously, so
Ref,
that was pretty
ref,
cool.
referencing Shield Base from Spider-Man: Far From Home,
Right, right.
or so Sword Base. Sorry, Sword Base.
Yeah,
Shield is
sword.
Shield is dead.
Yeah.
I can.
And then
And
so
so my thing with that scene, like I liked the scene, but at the same time, it felt kind of weird. Like they're gonna try to do some sort of like Monica Rambeau like sword spin-off or something. Because Monica has powers now. She entered the Hex and it changed her DNA.
right.
And I still don't know what her powers are because like her powers were like random, and I don't know if like she only had powers in the Hex. I don't know. But no. The Hex was like breaking towards the end. So I don't know. I guess it's a gray area, but the only problem I had with the first end credit screen was, dude, the Skrull's makeup was freaking terrible. She transforms into the Skrull. Her eyelids are still brown. Like you can tell with the camera, like her eyelids.
I would have to go back and look at that again,
I
but
don't know why
I'm sure you're right.
my ADHD having ass is like her eyelids are still brown, man. Like they have so much CGI and makeup in shows that they couldn't like just get that real quick, really.
I'm sure that they didn't have like the budget that Captain Marvel did for that kind of stuff, but I'm sure you're right. I will have to literally go back and look.
Yeah,
But I'm sure you're correct on that.
I was like, oof, come on. Okay, so the second end credit scene. This is
Oh,
just me, but like, okay, so it definitely felt more cinematic to me. Like
yeah,
the show itself felt like sitcom-y and cinematic but this last scene felt more cinematic, and you see her with you see her in this cabin in the middle of nowhere in these icy
yeah.
mountains, and she's isolated, kind of reminiscent of like the end of the Hulk movie with Incredible Hulk movie with Eric Bana.
Oh my
Not
God,
Eric
that's
Bana,
not Edward
Edward
Norton.
Yeah.
That's going back. Holy
Yeah,
crap.
remember he was in the middle of the woods, kind of like isolating himself because he didn't want to hurt anyone anymore. But
Yes.
then it's shown that the Wanda sitting outside of the cabin is either a different reality Wanda, or it's like astral projection type thing, or it's like some sort of distraction just in case anyone does come there. And you see
Right.
Scarlet Witch a hold of the Darkhold, which by fact Agatha called it the Darkhold, which the Darkhold's from Agents of Shield. Like the Darkhold was in Agents of Shield. The book looked
Right.
different, but it's the same thing. And
No.
also, before we finish talking about this end credit scene, so remember how Wanda said like, "Oh, you're going to be trapped in here, and you're going to be what you originally were, Agnes," and she switched her to Agnes.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused by that.
Like
Like,
the nosy neighbor.
yeah. But the thing is, like, the hex is wiped out, so wouldn't Agnes be wiped out with it? I don't know. Like,
Why? Wait.
Agatha,
Why would she?
Agatha,
Hold on. Why would she be wiped out? She ain't dead.
yeah, but that's the thing, though. Wanda said she's going to be keeping her there, but the hex was wiped out at the end of the episode. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah. But
So where
the hex when it closes and stuff, like it would just whoever is actually dead would go away. And that's why Vision went. Agnes was just
yeah, but if Agnes isn't dead, why wasn't she then showed at the very end? Like, remember at the very end when I guess it showed all the people in the center of town, but you know what it might be then? Maybe the only person trapped like in that town as Agatha is trapped in like her own mind as Agnes now. Maybe she's trapped in her own mind. The hex
Right.
doesn't exist. Maybe that's what they meant.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so sorry. So okay, so we got that. So
I just yeah.
what do you think the second end credit scene is teasing? Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna say the same thing.
Okay, so I mean, I'm sure we are too, but like before I saw our friend Thomas's explanation, stuff like that, I was flat out confused by the second end credit scene. Me and my fiance Raina were very confused by the second end credit scene. I was trying to figure out like why there was two of them there, but then the whole astral projection that makes sense. It really does. Like I'm sure they're setting. I'm sure we're both gonna say it, but they're the House of M and they're setting up
Doctor Strange too.
Doctor Strange too, yeah.
Like that's what I thought. I think like her being Scarlet Witch, she's Scarlet Witch now, and she's learned new chaos magic abilities, but she doesn't have control over them. So that's honestly, whether it's confirmed or not, I think is going to lead into the future MCU projects. But okay, so everything's talked about now that we want to talk about with the show. What would you give it as an overall rating?
And remember, opinions are opinions. For me, no. I'm just saying, like, no, I would love to hear your score also. For me, honestly, it's a 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, this show is fantastic. I mean, yeah, it has little things here and there, whatnot. Okay.
Yeah, nothing's
but
perfect, to be fair.
Yeah, but like honestly, 9. I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay,
9
yeah,
out of
there
10.
you go.
Yeah. How about you?
Do you have a favorite character though?
Jeez. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I do. Jimmy Woo and Darcy. They need their own movie. They need their own movie or show. They need it. They're such great side characters.
I mean, no arguments for me on that. I love their characters, definitely.
Yeah.
And so I think honestly, this is going to sound cliche. It's definitely between Evan Peters' character and Wanda, but I'm going to pick Wanda just because I know it's only in a limited amount of things in the comics and TV shows where Wanda was a bad person. Wanda was bad in X-Men Evolution, and that's my favorite version of her. But I think, as cliche as it sounds, I personally would have to pick Wanda just because I liked seeing her dark, and I liked seeing her doing magic. I like seeing... I'm not finished. And I like seeing her be, like, just unstable, too, and, like, out of control. I just like that.
Oh, yeah. And Wanda progressing throughout the whole show, and Evan Peters, I mean, he was in a few episodes and whatnot, but then, he finished his story, but Wanda has not.
Yeah, so I definitely think though that his character might not come back, but I think a version of Quicksilver will come back later on as like an X-Men version of Quicksilver. We'll see.
Yeah, probably the multiverse will probably have something to do with that.
Yeah, if I gave the show an overall rating, it would probably be between like a 7.5 and an 8 for me.
Okay.
I thought it was good. It was scratching like great, and I like how it was put together. I like seeing stuff happen, predictable at times. For like the super nerds who definitely Wikipedia a lot of stuff to understand things better. Yeah. I think for the super nerds, it was predictable at times, but it was still cool to see it play out. Like I said, acting was good. The comedy was funny. Like I loved how each era captured the essence of the 80s, 90s, 70s perfectly. They had like even for Elizabeth Olsen's sisters, Mary Kate and Ashley, they did like a Fuller House reference.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
CGI was great.
Oh yeah, definitely. The only bad thing I will say, and it's another makeup thing, the black character in the show, the neighbor, his wig looked terrible. I'm sorry. He had this like afro.
Okay,
Like,
that is just like
no,
so picky.
no. I don't want to hear it. You have a budget of a show so high, and then you see stuff like other movies, like Jamie Foxx in Just Mercy at the beginning. His wig looked so bad. I'm like, oh come on, bro. You got to get something better than that. And but no, I'm not taking that away from the like score of the show. I'm just saying, I'm being funny and an asshole. But yeah, definitely 7.58 for me. Now, how do you think? Not like over the course of the next 5 years, but how do you think like the next year or two of MCU is going to go based off of WandaVision now?
Oh, they're gonna continue to like hint at and set up X-Men. And possibly
do
in
you
there.
do you think any X-Men characters will appear in the next year or two? And by okay, so I'll say this: do you think any mutant characters will appear in the next year? I'm not characters from X-Men like
Gambit.
No, I'm talking about characters with like no abilities, like X-Men characters that don't have abilities, like Colonel Stryker or whatever, like that. Like,
Oh,
I'm talking about like, do you think mutants or like people with superpowers from the X-Men series, however you want to spin their name, do you think they're gonna come into the MCU?
I mean, I honestly think like because of like Doctor Strange and everything like that, and magic and all this other stuff, I really think like someone they're gonna. It's just my thought on it. Gambit, I really do. Because Gambit's a freaking magician and stuff like that. So I don't
I
know.
mean, it's definitely possible.
Yeah,
So
plus he hasn't been in a damn movie since Origins Wolverine. So
yeah,
I
that's
mean, yeah,
fair. They
come
never got
on.
that movie off the ground with Channing Tatum.
No, they didn't.
So okay, so my theory is like obviously like the end credit scene, Wanda's going to be unstable, and I think it's going to be up to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness to help her. So and I think maybe even at the end, maybe Mephisto is controlling Wanda at the end credit scene when she's
You
studying
think
all
so?
yeah, when she's studying all like the chaos magic and dark magic and shit. It could be maybe Mephisto's going to be the villain in Multiverse of Madness. Who knows? But as far as mutants go, I don't. I think mutants are still. He said 5 years off, but I think they're going to be coming sooner. I don't think it's going to be like in Falcon and Winter Soldier or like Falcon and Winter Soldier. No mutants guaranteed.
Loki.
No. What's the next one after that? Black Widow, the movie. No mutants for that one, obviously, because it's 5 years in the past. So I don't think it's going to happen right now. Loki, I don't know because Loki, he's in some weird. I don't even know much about that movie besides the trailer, so we'll see.
What about Eternals?
Eternals, I don't think so either because I believe Eternals was they were already filming that before.
Isn't that more cosmic?
Yeah, but Eternals, I believe, was starting to film as Disney bought Fox.
Oh.
That's why. So WandaVision was already being planned, and I believe they might have started to film very early stuff when Disney bought Fox. Because right off the bat, they didn't have the rights to X-Men. So I think that's why later on it happened. So I just think it's going to lead, like, if anything, Spider-Man might have the first taste of mutants, but I think they're going to focus on the other Spider-Man. Okay, so we don't think mutants are coming in the next year or two. I mean, you would like to see Gambit. Hell, I would like to see Gambit. But honestly, I'm excited for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And I know Thor Love and Thunder is filming right now. Spider-Man's I believe, wrapping up stuff. And so Eternals, I think it's all done and edited, I believe. Maybe they're doing some post-production stuff for that.
Probably.
And Black Widow, I just hope doesn't get delayed again, because I think Disney is now working out a deal where they release their movies with a shorter theatrical window.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll see. What
Yeah.
future MCU project that we've seen either pictures or footage for are you most excited for now?
I mean, really hasn't been much.
Because I
I
mean,
don't
yeah,
think.
we've gotten trailers for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Obviously, we've gotten trailers for Black Widow. There has been previews for Loki. But movie wise, the only thing
No.
we've gotten is just Black Widow. Honestly, I think there might have been some. There's been some set photos from Eternals. I think
That's it.
so. Yeah, I wouldn't really count that one. So yeah, I guess which are you more excited for, Black Widow, Loki, or Falcon and Winter Soldier? I guess we'll just leave it with that.
Loki and well, especially Falcon and Winter Soldier progress in the MCU. The Black Widow is in the past,
Yeah,
so I mean, Falcon and Winter Soldier has a progressing storyline.
yeah. I did hear though that oh Florence Pugh, the girl from like Midsommar, and she's gonna be appearing in the Black Widow movie. I heard she's gonna apparently make an appearance in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh
It
well,
might it might be just
okay.
talks, but like I'll have to see myself. But yeah, no, I'm excited for Black Widow too. I really can't wait. And yeah, I think that's it. So you said Falcon and Winter Soldier is premiering when?
March 18th, March
March
19th,
18th.
March 19th, 19th.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. So, any last thoughts, man?
I'm just excited for whatever the hell the MCU has to bring to us in the future. WandaVision set up some pretty awesome stuff, I gotta say, and I'm really
agreeing
looking
with you.
forward to Phase 4 and 5.
I'm agreeing
Yeah.
with you. Yeah. So that's pretty much got me excited too. I know Deadpool's going to be R-rated.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
I wish Blade was. I've heard Blade might not be rated R.
well, they don't know that yet. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So Kevin Feige, for those who don't know, Kevin Feige said we have no other MCU films planned in development that are rated R. So he says planned. So there's tons of movies that started filming and didn't know it was going to be rated R until it was finished filming. So, I guess we'll just find out with that. One other thing I was kind of let down by in WandaVision, if I just got like one last final thought. Monica Rambeau said she had a guy that one episode, like some sort of like scientist that might be able to help her out.
I know where you're going with this.
I thought it was freaking Reed Richards. Like I thought that would have been a perfect like way to segue him in. But I understand he's got a plan. Because if it was Reed Richards and nothing was done with him for like 3 years, I get it. I get it.
A lot of people thought it was going to be Reed Richards too. I kind of did too. I wish. It'd be nice.
Because very nice. So
It would have
okay,
been,
man.
yeah.
Hey, well, again, thanks for joining me, man. I'm glad we kept it under an hour or so.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, dude. Well, have a good night, and we'll definitely have to do this for Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm having you hop on with
Absolutely.
me.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
I'll be there. All right, Matt. Thanks for joining me, and as always, everyone else, thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks, guys.